The Crown Royal 400 on FX is sponsored by UPS, proud sponsor of Dale Jarrett's 88 Ford. The Crown Royal 400 delivered by UPS. UPS delivers the chance to manage your own free fantasy auto racing team and win a couple of tickets to any Fox broadcast race. Just go to foxsports.com, keyword UPS. Who will land in victory lane here? Greg Biffle leading Kevin Harvick. Harvick, last night's Busch Series winner, and Harvick has just moved in front.
Yeah, he just went around Greg Biffle. And Chris, what I've been seeing right now is comers and goers coming up off the turn 4. You see Biffle gets a little bit wide right there, and then Kevin just dives the outside of him, sweeping into turn 1 and makes that pass look real easy. And he's just picking up right where he left off last night.
And Kevin told Steve Burns on our pre-race show he doesn't remember being this hot since his late model days. What's contributed other than the contract extension to this driver being in the zone?
Well, you can say anything you want to, but it all has to do with chemistry and everybody getting on the same page, working together. As we see right now, Jeff Gordon also making his way up through the pack, putting pressure on Denny Hamlin, hometown favorite, right now battling for 7th position. His car looks like it's working pretty good, but getting back to Harvick, a lot of it has to do, you start getting everything working with his Todd Berrier, you know, whoever. I mean, it's so important to have that kind of chemistry and that kind of motivation. But guys, as we start looking at what's going on here with these comers and goers, it won't be too much longer to be thinking about pit stops, and it looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. and a couple other cars are off sequence, and that could come into play.
Well, Junior's trying to lead Kyle Busch up through past the 31, the singular car of Jeff Burton and Ryan Newman in the 12. A lot of battling here. I don't see anybody just riding around.
Can't right now. You got these guys at the back of the field. Here comes Harvick and Biffle. They're about ready to put some cars a lap down, and you got guys back here trying to keep up with them. And you got guys starting to really venture up to the high side, particularly in 3 and 4.
Larry, one notable car backing up, and that is Tony Stewart. Junior went past him a few laps ago, and now he's lost another spot to Boyer, so back he's at 16th place now.
Well, I think he's one of those cars that's looking for a caution. You could see him wrestling the car off the corner, and our guys in the pits reported a while ago that he was not that happy with his race car, so he's definitely looking for a caution right now. Matt Kenseth in the 17 just goes by Brian Vickers in the 25. That was a battle for fourth.
I'm sorry, Lee, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car, he's a prime example. If you make your car better in fresh tires, what you can do. He restarted about 35 laps ago, back in 30th, and now he's up into the top 10, fixing to go by our points leader, Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, and then now he's off sequence, so he can stay out there and run a little bit longer than these other cats can, and that may pay off too. So that was a really great call this early in the race.
Biggest thing, he made his car better.
Made his car much better.
This pass will put Junior into the top 10. Dick Bergeron on our point leader.
Well, Jimmy Johnson's car is a lot less than he would like, Mike. He called into the radio and said that the car was loose in, really tight in the center, so they have some adjusting to do when they make their first pit stop.
Well, loose in will make you tight in the center because you're having to turn the wheel to the right, getting into the corner. We see Casey Kane in the garage.
And you know, I mentioned a while ago that Evernham has had some engine problems. Casey Kane lost an engine at Martinsville. They're losing engines in the 9 car at places you wouldn't think you'd have engine problems. You know, you would expect Atlanta, Texas, places like that to have engine failures.
What about the 9, Matt?
And exactly what Larry Mack was talking about, they referred back to what took place at Martinsville when they didn't bring the car in early enough to see if there was something they could do, maybe take a rocker arm off or something, see if plug wire was off without hurting the engine. They finally said, let's take it to the garage and see what we can do. A bad week last week in Alabama, bad week again here tonight in Richmond.
Boy, I looked up and saw the 26. I thought he was, I don't know what happened to him. I saw smoke. Let's see if we can get a replay here.
Jamie McMurray.
Oh, there you go, man. I looked up and I saw him. I said he was going to wreck.
I think he probably said the same.
Did we have that good hands thing yet?
There's a prime candidate for it.
Mark that one down.
We're going to have a lot of candidates for that one tonight. Nice save.
It was.
That was a crown-worthy moment right there.
Man, that thing just jumped out from under him.
And he was coming off Calamity Corner, turn 2.
Great save, baby, great save.
Look at that.
Riding with Tony Raines, he had no idea what to do right there. He didn't know where that car was going to end up.
So pretty good job of hanging on to that thing, no question. I see Casey Kane going down pit road. They probably pulled a rocker arm off to see if they could maybe keep that thing going for a while. He is 5 laps down as he re-enters the race. So Abraham's off to not a too good a start. Jeremy Mayfield gets wrecked early. Now here's Casey with engine trouble, so Ray's not going to have a very good night tonight.
No, and Scott Riggs running 25th. So all 3 Evernham cars in the lower half of the field.
Now, Kevin Harvick, our leader, we were talking about he was about to catch a lot of cars at the back of the field, and normally that brings all the other cars up to him, but he actually picked up ground when he caught lap cars.
You know what? I'm not so sure they didn't fix that 9 car. Maybe he's just running on, he looks like he's on 7 cylinders, but he sure can go down into the turns and through the turn well. Look at him on Harvick.
He looks better than he did a while ago, that's for sure.
So Harvick the leader by 1.6 seconds. Biffle, Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth, 3 Roush cars, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then Jeff Gordon in 5th. Here's Steve.
Mike Gordon started 16th, and as you said, he's moved up 11 positions, but he wants some adjustments to that Chevrolet. He says he's better in 1 and 2 than he is in 3 and 4. He's tight getting in.
Front straightaway, Steve.
And we've got troubles on the straightaway.
Front stretch, down the front stretch.
And Tony Raines is right in the midst of it in the DLP Chevrolet. He got in the
Get him fired up now, leader's challenge.
And there was a 2nd car involved. So 3rd caution of the night comes at lap 66.
Oh, by the way, another reason these guys like this racetrack, you can spin out and not hit anything.
Yeah, especially here on the front stretch.
Ought to look good on the big screen.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of damage. There's J.J. Yaley alongside.
Just almost what happened. It's almost the same thing. Man, he mad at that thing, Larry. Here hitting the rev limiter. It's almost what happened to Jamie McMurray on the back straightaway. Just sounded like the rear tires broke loose.
Yeah, he was definitely into that rev limiter, trying to keep it off the wall.
So a lot of cars scattered, but nobody else involved in Tony Raines' spin.
That's in it. The 26 and he both had the same issue. Rear tires just bust loose and the thing spins out.
Now, a lot of our cars at the front, like Kevin Harvick, Greg Biffle, Mark Martin, Kenseth, and Gordon, they have not been to pit road yet here at lap 66. They will all be on the pit road, and I've got to believe even those cars like Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's been 40-something laps since they pitted. I think you're going to see all the league lap cars on pit road, 4 tires and adjustments.
Oh, yeah.
Feeding time.
Yeah, baby.
Free pass car will be Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, he just gotten lapped.
Dick Bergman.
Well, Kevin Harvick has the very first pit on pit road. He is going to stop toward the back end of that pit to be sure that he doesn't get trapped in. Once again, the car is tight in the center, a little bit tight off as well. They're going to try to adjust that with air pressure. Steve.
Dick Matt Kenseth said his car is good getting in, good in the center. You see him in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Right next to him, Jeff Gordon. He is, as I said, tight in the entry, tight in the center, loose on exit. Matt.
Top left, Greg Biffle, the pole sitter tonight. You can already see the crew member with the wedge wrench. They've already made a chassis adjustment. Biffle says they are in a great position. The car is still a little too tight in the center and free on exit. He is down and away, will win the battle off pit road, but he says even after they lost the lead on lap 49, we are in great shape tonight, boys.
Larry, what's significant is everyone who pitted up at the turn 4 end of pit road got out first.
Yeah, and I mean, they almost had the problem. They were finished for their pit stop before all the cars were in, but the killer bees, Matt Kenseth's group, Robbie Reiser, picked up 2 positions. There you see that's the best times on pit road, including the stop, Greg Biffle and Matt Kenseth. Mark Martin being one of the cars that lost some positions.
That completes our first Craftsman pit stop of the night. We're under caution flag number 3 for Tony Raines' spin.